Hello, everyone. I hope you had a nice evening yesterday. And today we have the second day of Dunsu Shipping Meet 2022. And here we are back at On Stage with new speakers every other half hour. And my name is Pernilla Warberg, and I'm going to introduce the speakers during the day. Yesterday we ended up here at On Stage with the main sponsor, DESMI, and today we will start with DESMI as well. The topic is OptiSave, optimizing pump fan and speed to current conditions and saving fuel. Comply with the maritime industry regulations and EEXI and EEDI indexes. Is that correct? That's right. So I'm going to introduce John Peterson, the segment director at DESMI Pumping Technology. And with his extensive experience within the maritime industry, he holds a huge technical knowledge to the vessel engine room for a greater performance of the particular product and system integration. So please give a big hand to John Peterson.
Thank you for the presentation. And yeah, happy to be on the stage again.
Yes,
Yeah.
we were here yesterday, and you joined yesterday's big banquet.
Yes, we did. And
Yes.
what an amazing day yesterday. We had a very nice day during the whole day, and the evening was exceptional. And
Yes.
it will go into memories. Nice food, the band, the entertainment, and also the speeches was. They were great.
It is a great deal of to being together and connect and have fun and happy and join.
I can see when I was in the tent yesterday evening, the keyword for me was networking. It
Yes.
was really what we was doing there, and it was suppliers, it was colleagues, it was competitors, it was ship owners, it was everybody who was in a very good mood, and we were here to enjoy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we continue to network today, and of course also deliver some knowledge. So the stage is yours.
Thank you.
Welcome, John.
Hopefully. Thank you. And I'll spend approximately 20 minutes concerning our energy efficient systems. I have made a small agenda for the presentation. First, I will talk about what is DESMI automation. A few words concerning armor regulation and what DESMI can do to help the ship owners and the shipyards to be more in compliance. Then I will speak a few words about our OptiSave in detail, so you get an impression of what it actually is. A few examples about the application, and also one slide about the savings. At the end of the presentations, there is also a single slide about what we can do compared to what we can do to support the ship owners reaching out to the energy savings and the indexes which are in force. DESMI is a company with a history of 185 years. We have been in the marine and offshore business for more than 50 years. During the last many years, we have also had a separate department or organization who has been handling the automation within the pumping technology, within the fluid technology. We are situated 21 places around the world. And among those 21 places, we have 3 organizations, one in Denmark, one in China, and one in Singapore, who is handling the automation solutions. An overview about DESMI automation, what we have been achieved the last many years and what we expect in the future, of course. We actually started in the 80s and in the 10th. We was a part of this green ship of the future, a Danish organization or a Danish government-supported idea of going together and create something more than only a single system, but as a whole solution to the shipping industry. Through that development and coordination, discussing with ship owners and other suppliers, we actually developed a system, automation system, for controlling seawater pumps, freshwater pumps, and energy engine room ventilation systems. We have, during the 10th and also here in the beginning of the 20th, we have now more than 650, 700 units on board ships which are sailing on the big oceans. It's a combination between new building and also retrofit installation. I'll show you later on what it actually is and how simple or relatively simple it is to install also a retrofit installation. When we talk about regulations and what can we do in order to reach out to the target and beyond the targets set forward by the EMA organizations, one of the ideas is, of course, what we have been developing during the years, and that is frequency converters. But frequency converters alone does not give any, let's say, significant savings. But if you install a frequency converter together with the automation systems, then the ship owners actually can gain quite a lot, of course, depending on where they're sailing and also depending on the ship in question. But we are contributing to the EEXI and EEDI. If I should give, let's say, a percentage, typically we can improve the index with approximately 1%. For the majority of the ships. If we go into containers, the larger containers who has larger gensets, then we will say 0.5% to 1%. But nonetheless, a relatively simple installation, which actually can contribute with approximately 1%, is actually quite significant. Basically, we are utilizing the energy in the seawater around the world. Of course, the seawater temperature are different. When the seawater temperature in areas where the seawater temperature are higher, then the savings are less. Where in the areas, as we are here in Scandinavia, where the seawater temperature are lower, then the savings is actually higher. We use as average when we do our calculation and presenting for the owners, we use average temperatures of 22 degrees, but it can always be discussed what average temperatures that are needed to present a business case for the owners of the vessels. Basically, the OptiSave solution is a utilization of what is already installed. And we are talking about the heat exchangers for the seawater cooling. Normally, ship specification is indicating or is based on these 32 degree inlet temperature and the outlet temperature of 42. We actually increase that or change that, so we are utilizing the delta between 42 and 48 degrees, and then we are using the installed equipment to its maximum 48 degrees. And the reason why we do the 48 degrees is because we have the dew point is 48.5, so we are below the seawater dew point, and hence also operating in the safe area of the installed equipment. Basically, it is consisting of VSDs. It's consisting of a control system, an intelligent control system, and it is connected to main engine, the seawater tours, the temperatures, and other installed equipment. I have a slide on that in the later presentation. We have built this solution on a kind of we can say it on a Lego philosophy that you can build on, you can take away, depending on what you want. You do not necessarily take the full scope for the engine room ventilation and the freshwater and the seawater. You can actually decide whether it's only the seawater, freshwater, or the engine room ventilation which are interesting for the ship owners and a most economical solution for the ship owner. We do, let's say, the full scope here, and we have also last year we got an order for a big Singaporean ship owner for bulk carriers, where we actually have installed this remote connection, so we can actually sit in our office and see and follow what the crew are doing with the performance of the system. So we can talk to the ship owner who is sitting in Singapore, saying to him, this ship, they are not operating in automation, they are operating in manual mode, and therefore also please ensure that the guys are utilizing the installation for the intended purpose. Basically, when we are talking or when we are discussing with the ship owner, when we are developing a project, we do quite a lot of engineering in-house. We get information from the ship owner about where it is sailing, the installed power, the pumps which are installed, and then we do, let's say, the engineering work for the client, indicating where the pressure transmitters and temperatures and other equipment is needed or is supposed to be installed. And thereby we are developing we take a huge responsibility, but we also have a great belief that with this responsibility, we will also be able to supply something more than what our competitors are doing. You can see on the left side that is a screenshot of our automation system. It can be changed. It can be changed automatically. It can be changed manually. This one is for the low temper feedwater solution, and there is connection into the engine and these kind of things. And we have also discussed with the engine manufacturers. So it is actually approved by the engine manufacturers that we get the signals from their system into our system, and also the other way around. Here we have the engine room ventilation, where we also do, it's a little bit more simple if we can say so, but we also do, let's say, the installation, and we see saving. It is not every time we have the engine room, but together with the OptiSave system, but we have the option to include it as I showed in the earlier slide concerning the Lego philosophy, that you can add, you can remove, depending on the ship as per request. Here I'll show you how it actually works. We have here an example about it's a bull carrier built in China, where we have the pump capacity for the seawater cooling pump at 570 cubic meters. It's the running revolution is 770, and the power consumed at the duty point is 57 kilowatts. The heat exchanger's capacity is also at 32, as I said before, and the outlet in this case here is 44. If we could change the installation and utilizing the full capacity in the heat exchangers, you will actually see that this amount, or this cooling amount, 7,795, is actually also the same here at 48 degrees, and hence you will get a saving from 60 hertz to 45. This is actually quite a significant saving, and of course that is the whole idea about the OptiSave solution, that we are utilizing what is installed to the maximum, to its maximum, depending on where the ship are sailing, of course. If we convert these 57 kilowatt, as I showed before, to 45, then we are reducing the actual power consumption from 57 kilowatts down to 24 kilowatts with a simple utilization of the maximum or the heat exchangers capacity, which already are installed. There is no magic in this, but it's all a matter of utilizing the installed equipment, getting signals from the main engine, the running signals, seawater temperatures, and also, of course, the temperatures on both sides of the heat exchanger. I'm normally not talking about estimated savings. We can do the presentation. We can show the owners about what kind of the power amount the owner are saving, and then we are letting the owner doing the calculation by themselves, because we are not the operators. We don't know the cost for the fuel and these kind of things. But in this case here, we have made a estimated based on annual saving, as you showed before, and this one is $86,000 per year in a tanker. Of course, it will all be depending on how the operational profile is, but it is quite significant. And also here, it's important to emphasize that the installation is relatively simple. You don't need to dock the ship. You can do it during voyage. We have a crew who can go on board and do the installation and pulling the cables and these kind of things. And the next tower we can also do, or the next, depending on how the agreement is made, we can do the commissioning and training for the crew. So it is one of the more simple, let's say, energy saving solutions you can choose in the market today, compared to many other things where you need to install heavy stuff, you need to dock, you need to have crane capacities and these kind of things. That's not necessary in this this solution, in this application, as you have seen. We do also see a quite, let's say, increased demand from many ship owners around the world. It's not only ship owners from Europe, as I said, it's also ship owners from Singapore, from the Middle East, from China and from the US, simply because they find it very attractive due to the reduced amount of activities for installing it. And when it is installed, it's actually working. There is no rotating parts. There is actually non-maintenance which are required. And if an upgrade on the software is needed, then it can be done by our service engineer, or it can be done remotely. So easy installation, and first and foremost, the return of investment is extremely short, especially now also with the fuel oil prices we see today. But nonetheless, it's also reducing. It's also giving a more positive footprint on the CO2 reductions and these kind of things. We, as a company, we do actually more or less all. We do the pre-engineering, we do the presentation of the savings, we do the calculation for the owner to decide in which direction they want to go, and also for the owners to decide whether it's only the seawater, freshwater, or the engine room insulation they are targeting. We are, as a final quote, we make a short, or we make a project file where the owners can see everything. We are open with our calculation. We are open with the support, so they know exactly what is what the result is if or when they are when they are deciding to go down the path of our OptiSave solution. I think that was my presentation, and if there are any questions, then reach out to me. We are in the corner there.
Thank you. Thank you, John. You told me right now what you offer to your customers, but what are your customers? What kind of customers are? No, who are your customers, and what kind of vessels are the system installed at?
The kind of vessel is actually any vessel you have seen in the waters today. It is tankers, it is LNG carriers, it's chemical carriers, it's containers. So it's a wide range of different vessels we see in the market today. And basically, you see a significant saving on most of the ships.
Yes.
Yeah.
And do the pumps need to be from DESMI for installing this OptiSave system?
It could be great if they were for DESMI, but it's not necessary. We also do installation, and it's not because we also want to sell pumps in connection with our OptiSave solution. Yes. We actually also sell or supply OptiSave solutions to new buildings where we have lost the pump package to our competitors. We see it more as, let's say, our contribution to a better environment.
Yes.
Than we see it as mandatory.
It's a bigger, yes. What do you see in sight for OptiSave for DESMI? What's the next step?
The next step for DESMI is to make further development, and we are very much focused on this, the future data collection and these kind of things, so we can support the owner with more information on how they should operate the system, and also look at the system as a whole, not only as an equipment supply, but really utilizing the data which are available in order to improve the performance and to educate the crew.
Thank you so much, John Pedersen, for this valuable input, and thank you also for being the main sponsor to Donsö Shipping Meet 2022.